Good evening, folks. The Toronto Rock Athletic Center plays host to Arena Lacrosse League action here this evening. The Toronto Monarchs in the gold and purple jerseys. They'll work right to left here in the opening period. Navy blue of the defending ALL champions, the Oshawa Outlaws. Graham Bergsma at the dot for the opening face-off for them, and Mason Wright is going to come away with it for the Monarchs, and we're underway. Matthew Carrick in for the Arena Lacrosse here this evening, as we start a new week here in ALL. It is the battle for first place as Dustin Caravello takes it into the corner. Outlaws currently holding that spot, 2 points, 1 win ahead of the Monarchs, and the shot from Caravello. Covering up and holding on is Ryan Schutzkowski, who gets the start here for the Outlaws. Count is on by John Vandergrijtsen. New official just added to the referees roster here this evening. Roger Nurse, Ryan Wilson, the other two. Shot goes wide, bounces straight to Patrick Miles, though, and the breakout's on, and Brendan Muse shoots that one wide, a bouncer that goes off the backboards. Immediately picked up here, and Steven Berger comes in, and Craig Wendy will collapse over top of that and immediately fire it to the front door, where the Monarchs are now making changes. Monarchs 2 points back in what is a logjam of 4 teams coming into this evening, tied with 4 points. And Oshawa awarded the ball here. Sounded like one bench wasn't too happy with that call, but Ryan McRory will bring it out over center. And the offense for the Outlaws will get started. Zach Sloan. White Rochester bucket for the captain, Mike Triolo, the big body in front. Might have caught a piece of that shot. They do reset the clock, though, so Wendy must have touched it somewhere, and there is the big body of Triolo. Getting over the ball on the far side. Back for Sloan. Zach Sloan tries to find a cutter, and it bounces off his stick, where Wendy will pick it up in the crease. Now walking out to beat the 5 count. 8 to get over center here as we play NLL rules. As Caravello now will find the trailer, Nick Grasby off the bench. Over to the far side. Graham Bergsma tries to keep his man at bay. Couple whacks there for Tyler LeBlanc as he ends up sending an errant pass. He's now trying to chase it down himself. Gets it in the underhand shovel shot. Schutzkowski still not sure where it is, but it finally does drop out of the jersey in front on the crease. For Steve McCarthy, Paul Stewart, and Ryan DeYoung's Oshawa Outlaws. Outlaws spreading the floor here a little bit as John St. John working with Colin Maudsley here on the left side. Shot comes from the right side, though. Cam Mancini over the top. Delayed penalty here. Schutzkowski to the bench as John St. John fires a high shot off the end glass, and ducking out of the way was Ryan Wilson. That goes over and back. And we will get the delayed penalty call as we've played 2 minutes and 47 seconds here in the first of 4 15-minute quarters. Those of you who are new to the Arena Lacrosse League. Power play set here for Brandon Ben, the statistical leader on this Outlaws team. The shot goes through. Wendy with the save. Rebound picked up by St. John. Low in the corner now for Sloan. Up top for Ben. Now Triolo. Ben with it again. Shot straight down the pipe. Up into the shoulder of Wendy, and he's going to bomb this up overhead. And it'll take a couple hops in towards Schutzkowski. Jordan Critch. Caravello was trying to help him, but Critch couldn't find it. And this will allow the Outlaws to work out with it. 20 seconds gone in the power plays. This one goes off the backboards. Caravello breaking out and over the top. Critch reaching for it. It will now be swarmed as the power play unit comes off the visitors' bench here for the Outlaws. And it'll be Triolo one-handing the ball up over center. He'll slow things right down, as there were a couple defensive players out there for the Outlaws, sneaking one in as it looked like they were going to get close. Wide shot, just wide, but John St. John didn't hit anything, so there's 5 on the shot clock. So it goes to the far side. This is Sloan, and now Triolo tries a sidearm, just a little lower than sidearm shot that just missed wide. So the Outlaws having a bit of trouble reining it in here. Triolo looked like he was going to stay out on offense as Tyler Ferrero was late going to the bench. And now shot clock continues to tick down, but 15 left in the penalty. And the Monarchs can take this all the way back to even strength. Muse for Kean McQueen, who wears 32 here this evening. Number change on our rosters in-house anyways. McQueen all the way up over the restraining line. Takes a couple whacks. We are 5-on-5 as he was looking for Reed Board cutting through and then just off the lip of the head of his stick. And now the Oshawa Outlaws coming back. Graham Bergsma on his wrong side looking for help. It's not there, so Patrick Miles pushes him the long way around. Big hit over in the corner as Brandon Ben was looking to come out. Ball does roll its way back for Sloan. Had thoughts of going to the net. Now he turns back and does. Big hit, still worked over in the crease, and we get minor interference. I don't know how minor that was, but I was wondering if we were going to get a penalty. They'll reset the shot clock as it was straight into the back as Sloan was coming through. He had Patrick Miles, Tyler LeBlanc, and a third Monarch player. Sounds like 8 on the shot clock, and John St. John over the top around a screen, and Wendy doesn't see it as it goes in the back of the net. Lost a few seconds there on the clock, but in just over 9 minutes left in the first period, and 6 minutes gone, we get our first goal. John St. John opening it for the Outlaws. Mason Wright at the face-off dot again. He's going to win another one against Paul Jelly this time. Wendy out of his crease. As now Connor Laird, couple swipes at the ball carrier. Jordan Dance into the corner. Triolo with the loose ball. Steals it away from Dance, and it's a size mismatch if I ever saw one. Trying the one-handed pickup. Here is Steph Charbonneau. Steph Charbonneau from Barrie. Played in the Minto Cup this year with the Coquitlam Adirondacks before being drafted into the NLL. His low shot handled by the stick of Wendy, and another breakout here for Caravello. Oh, look at that pass and the reception, but Schutzkowski gets the last laugh. Great play between Wendy and Caravello. And too many, a lot of, it looks like, yellow jerseys here, but Carl Legger, the in-home player, new addition to the Outlaws roster, wearing 26, will serve as the power play sets up. Quick ball movement here, and it ends up in a low shot and a goal from LeBlanc. Most of the damage being done, most of the work rather. Ball movement on that left side. 8 minutes exactly left in the first period as we're knotted at ones. Bergsman, Miles again, and Wright. And it looks like Wright's going to get his third win of the game so far, winning it back into his own zone, then setting a pick to allow Cody McLeod to break out with it. From the restraining line, right against the glass, is Caravello. One-handing it, Jordan Critch had Triolo on him. And just a little piece of the stick there to upset the apple cart, as it were. And the ball movement here for the Outlaws. Brandon Ben on the goal. Charbonneau was getting a couple fist bumps. Congratulations. So that might have been his pass as face-off rolls here to the Outlaws. And off the foot of Laird, it's going to come all the way back close to center. Bergsma right there, nearly over and back, and not ready for it was Connor Laird. He was watching his man as this one goes into the corner. Laird now stepping up to set a pick. Couple offensive players on. Ben with the shot. Wendy not sure where it is. Reaches back, and he'll hang on as we get our first timeout with the Outlaws leading 2-0. LeBlanc gets us restarted. Just under 7 minutes left in the first. And straight to the net, Caravello through the crease here. Pardon me, that is LeBlanc. held up just long enough, as now we get a jousting match in behind. A couple of slashes as Shutzkowski finds it in the crease. And on the bounce it comes to Oshawa, but an infraction. Hands it right back to the Monarchs here. On the left side, LeBlanc. Sending it back to Kean McQueen. McQueen dancing around, reset signaled, and it's going to bounce out of the stick of the ball carrier. Quick stick there by Gage Board to send it back to Triolo, though his shot sails well wide off the end boards, all the way out to center where Caravello was waiting for it. It's Dustin Caravello wearing 17. On a bounce to Nick Grasby. Grasby collides and streaking through his Muse, and he's going to score to even things up here. And some confusion, it looks like, on the Toronto bench, who's going to be on the draw team, and now Oshawa. Quick change to counter that move. As Paul Jelly and Mason Wright renew acquaintances at the dot. Looks like Oshawa going to get possession here as that ball bounces out of the stick of Steven Berger as he was on the run. Count is on for the Monarchs, though, as they now do come up over center. Looking behind and pushing into the corner was Reed Board. Quickly the ball to the left side for Muse. Brendan Muse over the top. Pauses, lifts it over. Looking for Board again, and that one's going to bounce into the corner. Caravello, Muse fakes a shot. Push there. Official thought about calling the moving pick. Shutzkowski one, now two saves, and no, it rolls past the arm and into the back. I thought it was Jordan Dance anyways, but they've picked up the ball. He's definitely scored before in this league, so we'll have to see officially who that went to. And the Monarchs with their first lead of the game here tonight. Big collision off the draw as Tyler LeBlanc got filled in, and then Mason Wright's stick got kicked away, and that should be, and I think will be, an unsportsmanlike. Saw the stick of Wright fly across the turf there, and Roger Nurse saying it was purposefully done by Graham Bergsma. Shot from up top into the shoulder of Shutzkowski. He's going to hang on here as it's brought up over center. And Steph Charbonneau will start the rag team. Charbonneau over the top to Triolo, who's come off the bench here. 10 left on the shot clock. From the corner, Triolo to the net, and Wendy way out of position as nobody went with Triolo, and Wendy was not ready for that. And it will be Wright and Jelly at the dot, and they'll go round and round until it finally pops out into the stick cleanly for Patrick Miles. And Caravello now shoveling to Grasby. And Dustin Caravello heads off the floor. I didn't know he ever did that, but Caravello does apparently need rest in this game. Jordan Critch continue working on the left side. Ferreira and LeBlanc works up for Critch. Now LeBlanc has it, threading the needle for Grasby, and he's going to find a hole. Should be, my guess, LeBlanc and Ferreira on the power play to give the Monarchs back the lead. Has some good ball movement there from the top into the corner, and then bypassing a couple of players around the horn, going to the right side, and a quick release by Grasby. Finds it just past the right hand of Shutzkowski to make it 4-3. Jousting match back on the restraining line to our left. Charbonneau and his man kicked back, though, all the way down by Wright. Wendy had to come out of the crease, so it wasn't back in. This one comes all the way down the floor. Climbing the ladder, Cody McLeod will put it into the corner. And quickly the offense gets on here for Toronto. Caravello. Board is just inside the restraining line. Spinning away is McLeod. To Muse, the quick stick for Caravello. And Dustin Caravello has his second of the game. 5-3 for the Monarchs. We were back and forth up until that point. Remember, this is for what would be first place. Another game ongoing tonight as well at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena as Wright and Jelly back at each other. A big chop just as that ball came free, and a big stare down for the official. Roger Nurse was right there, but elects to not call anything as Charbonneau goes to the far side in the corner now. Quickly back and forth, east-west across the floor. The shot going low off the stick of Ryan McCrory. Wendy with the save. He picks up the rebound and bombs it down all alone. And a couple nice moves there for Jordan Critch as he avoided the big hit from Ryan Noland and then cuts back. And when these teams swap sides, we've seen it about 3 or 4 times already. Looking for Critch twice. That's the third time. Caravello once or twice. And movement from the backup goaltender. We've got it listed as Matt Bauman tonight. No Scotty Comer here for Oshawa. As a big hit there sent Charbonneau flying. It looked like Nick Grasby laying it down. Here's Gage Board straddling the restraining line on a bounce to John St. John. 2.5 left in the quarter. St. John to Triolo. Hard shot over the top, goes off the shoulder of Wendy. And while the rebound was high, Spencer James got into Triolo and knocked him down. So the Monarchs will get the ball back here. To Ben, to St. John. John St. John pushed out wide there by Ferreira. James still on Triolo. Big swim move here by Ben. His shot ends up off the backboards. It goes straight. I believe that Zach Sloan it went straight to. And Bergsma looked like he stood early, but it's going to be Oshawa ending up with the ball. Has a couple fake moves here. Cutting through is Ryan McCrory as Mark DeBrone won that face-off. Oshawa player falls in the shooting lane, so Colin Maudsley. Couple fakes and ends up pulling it down. Gage Board, his pass looking for the far side, intercepted. It's Ferreira now facing what's going to be a wave of blue jerseys here coming off the bench. Elects to just slow things down. We see an Outlaws player stretching out the shoulder on that visitor's bench over with the trainer. And it looks like it is Bergsma. Maybe that's why he pulled up early on that last face-off attempt. Nearing the final minute of the first quarter, we'll keep our eye over there. Although it has been Paul Jelly taking a number of face-offs tonight. And that one hooks on Braden Ben and goes well wide of the mark. Off the glass and bounces straight to Niall Caravello, and we do hit the final minute of play. Caravello is going to pass off. They want to push this one here as Gage Board tried to go through the center, and Jelly knocks that down into the corner. Picked up, though. Low shot through by Patrick Miles, and Oshawa trying to break out. It was DeBrone in behind, and it didn't quite get there. 36 seconds now, 11 seconds in between. And they want to go 2 for 1, it sounds like, as Muse takes the shot with 30 on the clock, and they're going to get another opportunity, and Wendy's going to the bench. Extra man is Grasby. Grasby, McQueen into the corner here. Back up top for Grasby. A lot of movement on the left side. LeBlanc with it on the crease. Muse shoots and scores with 5 seconds left. And no Bergsma on this face-off, as it will be Jelly coming out to challenge Mason Wright in what should just be a final face-off, I would imagine, of the first quarter. And action on both ends, but a mini run there of momentum. We switch ends for the second quarter here, but same drama, and as Jelly and Wright renew their battle in what looks like it's going to be pretty much a night-long battle. We did see Graham Bergsma looked like he came up a bit limp on one of those face-offs in the first. 3-goal lead for the Monarchs. They lead 7-4. And it was a spirited conversation over on the visitors' side. As Jordan Critch tries to find Dustin Caravello. Those two have been playing forever together, it seems. And the only way they could have found each other. John St. John sneaks through, and he's going to score his second of the game. As Colin Maudsley helped, I believe, by Schutzkowski. Should be 7-5, I believe. Now it goes up on the scoreboard. A minute into this second quarter. Gage board tied up, briefly knocked down in front by Charbonneau. And McQueen looking for room to work with. LeBlanc now fires a sidearm pass that goes off the arm of Schutzkowski. Get a reset as it comes down. LeBlanc again. Nice pick defense there by the Outlaws. Sliding over was Ryan McCrory. Gage board unable to pick it up cleanly. Pardon me, that's Reed board in front of his own net. 10 on the shot clock. A bouncer the length of the floor almost for Luke Laidlaw. And Laidlaw over the top off the leg, and it bounces. Takes a hard right turn. And if that continued going straight, that may have gone through the wickets. Here's Jelly, bit of a high pass, but is brought down by Steven Berger. And the Outlaws' first time in the set here in this second quarter, and they make it count. Cam Mancini, his first of the game. Mike Triolo comes to the dot as the Oshawa Outlaws struggle to figure out what they're going to do with Mason Wright here tonight. Triolo clamping down, and it skirts away, and Triolo throws his arms in the air, but delayed penalty coming, and it doesn't matter for Patrick Miles. He takes it all the way himself off the faceoff, came in and won the draw, and Mason Wright gives him the air high five from the length of the floor. Back to the line again. First one of the quarter there for the Monarchs after the Outlaws had clawed back within one. 13 minutes left in the second. It's now 8-6 in favor of Toronto as Wright and Jelly go head-to-head here. And it's going to be Jelly popping one free, and that brings the sticks out over on the Oshawa bench. Jelly had to fight for it, but he does get the face-off win against Wright, who had bested him most of the evening. That one bounces in behind Wendy off the bottom of the crossbar and comes out somehow. Ryan Wilson was right there. Another one off the crossbar. My goodness, Zach Sloan snake bitten this time. As John St. John with a nice find. Sloan tries a low bouncer this time, and that one Wendy gets a piece of. And the Outlaws pouring off the bench here as Niall Caravello starts the counterattack. Quickly to Jordan Critch, though. Critch in midair, Dustin Caravello. Niall holds on. As it's played up top here for Nick Grasby. Grasby in front, jumping and scoring is Niall Caravello. Letting everyone know that always a draw after a goal. Patrick Miles now in, Nurse with some housekeeping, and there's the blow in, and Jelly quickly pulls that one through the legs to Mark DeBrone. And he'll give to Triolo as Outlaws with work to do here tonight. Up top for Ben, over the shoulder, Triolo, his shot. Off the glove, it looked like of Wendy. Rolls down past the lower portion of the fan. And the outlet pass here looking for Caravello. Hey, Caravello's going to run it into the corner. Looks like he wanted Cody McLeod to go around the net, but now both of those players will go off and head for a change as Critch stays out there and finds LeBlanc. LeBlanc dancing around the near side. It looks to take a low shot off the arm, it sounded like there, Schutzkowski. Rebound rolls out to the boards where it's picked up by Oshawa, and it finds its way to Ben. He jogs up over center and the restraining line. Fake handoff to Triolo. He goes to John St. John on the left side instead. Ben down in the corner. Triolo in the middle. Here's St. John. The shot skips off. It looked like a Monarchs player, forcing it to go wide. 8 on the shot clock. Wendy touches that with the stick, though, as it was going way wide, and they reset the shot clock. St. John's not aware of it, and he's just going to shovel it up into the rafters here. Boy, oh boy, that was a couple half seconds there. 3-on-1 though for the Outlaws as the breakout attempt is intercepted. DeBrone steps in the crease, and lucky that pass was knocked down. Otherwise, that would have been a crease violation. But Gage board 21 in blue as opposed to 55 yellow, which is Reed board. As now Gage heads off. Ben straight down the pipe, looked to go the bouncer through the legs of Wendy, and an Oshawa player is sitting in the crease. It's Sloan. He gets up, as does St. John, picked up there by Dustin Caravello just as Grasby comes out of the box, and Grasby gets himself all twisted all around. He just can't come down with it. And he'll scamper off as Triolo brings it up over center. 5 minutes gone in the second quarter. St. John works away from coverage. Passing for Gilray. Josh Gilray's bouncer comes up and hits the throat guard there of Wendy. Rolling into the corner. Caravello, nifty little play out of the corner to shovel it down the floor and start the breakout here for the Monarchs. Cody McLeod, as far as the restraining line, got no further. Now Muse helps with a pick. McQueen, far side, no look pass. Muse has room, can't quite get there, and then the pass too hot to handle for Jordan Dance as he falls. Big tie up here in front of the crease, and those two players still going, and we finally get the interference call as the Monarchs remain on offense. Ferreira for Muse. He'll spin back and find Jordan Dance, who goes over the top. Dance, a couple whacks there from Graham Bergsma as a pair of 12s connect in the corner. Ferreira up top again. Ferreira looking for a shooting lane, and stick there. It looked like of Nick Andrioli getting in the way and forcing that one up into the protective screening. Szuczkowski needs to get it down the floor and does, but all the way down, well over the head of Ben, who tried to leap for it. As we near the officials' timeout here in the second period. 8 minutes left in the frame. 3-goal lead for the Monarchs, 9-6. As Grasby finds Caravello. A lot of movement here on the left side. Grasby keeps it though. As now Critch takes himself out of the pile. Critch with it, takes the shot in looking 5-hole on Szuczkowski, and he gets the stick there to take that one away. Ben over center. Triolo wants to slow things down as the lead official has a delayed penalty, and I think it's a slash. As that'll put Szuczkowski to the bench. It will take us to the officials' timeout once we get a stoppage. 10 on the clock. Triolo gets filled in but didn't pick up that ball, and Niall Caravello with the chop, and will take a timeout and sort the penalty out as the Monarchs lead 9-6. Oshawa trailing by 3. Good start, but have yet to counter that first quarter run that the Monarchs put together. Touched in the crease by Ben as they start their power play. And quickly up the floor, Wendy to Critch, and they score again. And that's double digits now for the Monarchs with 7 minutes left in the second quarter. Jelly against Patrick Miles, and it will be Paul Jelly winning the faceoff. Caught by Connor Laird. Here's Triolo. Hidden ball play with John St. John, and Caravello all over that. Straight after Johnny there is Ben to Triolo. St. John. Triolo down the pipe off the shoulder of Wendy. Up nearly out of play, but it does come back down into the stick of Triolo. Here's Gilray. for Ben. Gilray looking far side, and I think that hit the stick of Wendy as they were looking for Sloan cutting through the back door. Backpedaling is Caravello. Mark DeBrone, number of whacks off the stick. And Ryan Nolan saying he trapped it against his body, and it will be turned over here. And a little bit extra. And we'll see who it is. Grasby's in there again, as is Mark DeBrone. 6:09 left in the half. As offsetting dead ball contact penalties against Mark DeBrone and Nick Grasby, and another tip and another sprint here by the Monarchs. Critch from Caravello, the bouncer through the legs. Oh my, he's got the hat trick. Second shorthanded goal for Critch on this power play. And that stretches the lead to 11-6 now. Monarchs are flying here in the second quarter as Jelly draws that through his legs. Back to Ben on the line, and a couple face-offs now that we haven't seen Mason Wright at the dot. It was him and Graham Bergsma were taking the majority. Now Jelly is taking that over for the Outlaws, and the wing pops out there for Wendy as Triolo thought he had one. What a save by Craig Wendy. Penalty about to expire here for the Monarchs. They're back to 5-on-5 as a shot comes in. And that was Andrew Bennett streaking out of the box. He's got the ball now as it bounces around in the corner. Just over 5 minutes left in the half as it's brought up over center by Niall Caravello. Stops at the restraining line. McQueen to the far boards. Pick in front of him. Elects not to work around it, though, as LeBlanc back for Muse. Couple cutters in front. That clears a lot of space here for the righties. And Reed Board fell down, working around the pick. And otherwise, that was a clean pick and roll. Down the floor, off the turnover for the Outlaws as Gage Board gets it. Outlaws coming off the bench here. Sloan standing tall is Wendy. Nearly fell back into his own net, but does able to keep it in front of him as Eric Krepensek will take it out of harm's way. Back to the line, Ferreira. Caravello. Over to the half boards. Looking for the cutter, diving attempt, and taking off on the line was Ferreira as the Outlaws try and push it back the other way. Andrioli with speed. Brief little bump there from Critch, just pushed him wide enough to allow Wendy to make the save with 4 minutes left in the quarter. Critch straight down Main Street. Now backing away from coverage as the Monarchs try to set up. Pick on the near side. Muse works around Caravello. Dustin and Niall. Back for Dustin. Dustin Caravello, 17 the righty, 27 Niall the lefty. As Niall's going to head off, Caravello back down the floor as all the Outlaws come. Now one peeling off to the bench as Steven Berger will pass it away. Back for Bergsma. Bergsma backpedaling. Pick. Near side rolling. And unable to find Mancini as that one skips into the crease of Wendy. Near side, Caravello thought he was going to run away, but Gilray, a nice stick check to get it back over the far side. And too many men here against Oshawa, just as the Luke Laidlaw, Tyler LeBlanc. And it sounds like a too many men call against the Outlaws to set up this power play. Muse can't handle it. It skips in the corner. Up top, LeBlanc over the shoulder. Muse cuts through, no look up top. LeBlanc shot, shoots Kowski. He's going to hang on here. So LeBlanc is tied up in front. And Mark DeBrone will run it up over center. And Sean Gillies staring each other down. Pass through the middle. John St. John, a couple whacks there from Spencer Janes. And, DeBrone hard and awkwardly into the back corner. And we had one ref signaling loose ball contact. It was the trail official signaling boarding. DeBrone looks to be okay over on the visitors bench. Just some chuckles there from the trainer. We're 4-on-4 for 1:15. Nearing the 2-minute warning here in the first half. John St. John looking for Sloan and just a little behind him. So it's picked up here by the Monarchs as they run up over center. Critch already with 3 in the game. Of course, our number's unofficial. arenalacrosseleague.ca. Standing stats, schedule, and scores from the Arena Lacrosse League. 5 on the clock. LeBlanc hit just as he released, and Shutzkowski's going to hang on. As it passed off for Gilray here. LeBlanc slams his stick on his way to the box, to the bench rather. Has 30 seconds left, 4-on-4. A lot of room should these teams elect to use it. Mancini. Rising pass works to the far side. Wendy down to meet that. Colin Maudsley turned aside. Craig Wendy, one of those goaltenders that gets a little streaky at times, but when he's on, he is solid. And it looks like he's on right now. Grasby tried the leave it on the white paint hidden ball trick, but the Monarchs were all over it, and they're now short a man for the next 35 seconds as we're in the final minute of the first half. Shot bounces up over the timeline. .40 seconds left as the power play unit of the Outlaws try and cut this lead down. Saved by Wendy, bounces straight to Critch, up to center, and it's going to come all the way down, and I imagine Ben's going to touch it. And I was expecting timeout, but it didn't come. Now Shutzkowski goes as we go back to 5-on-5, looking for the last goal of the period. Shutzkowski on the bench, extra attacker, a couple fakes, picked up by Wendy down the floor, couple bounces, 8, 7, 6, 5, there's time, but it's wide. And picked up by Gage Board. And shot launched down. Wendy ducks out of the way, but nearly had a goalie goal, but a couple runs from the Monarchs. Oshawa Outlaws enter the second half, trailing by 5, 11-6 for the Monarchs, putting together a couple good runs in that first half, most notably the second quarter. And Craig Wendy has been pretty solid, starting to find his rhythm a little bit there at the end of that second quarter, picking up a couple assists as well. As we play here, the Monarchs going right to left. And straight to the net as Shutzkowski looks like he's still in there. That one lost in his feet a little bit. And we knew it was probably going to be a rough night. They've been with Scotty Comer most of the way. Stick in the feet there of the ball carrier, now reaching for it. Gets poked out as Tyler Ferreira chases it down. Jelly, bit of an uncontrolled stick there with the referee right on top. Matthew Carrick in at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center for Arena Lacrosse League action in what could be a first place battle. The Monarchs trying to go into a tie for first place. Wendy scampering to the bench as we get a penalty call here, stumbling as Muse takes the shot. It was McQueen, and the stick ended up going high, and it will be officially a holding call against the Outlaws. So chance to draw first blood here. Looks like Ryan Ferzovich heading off. Ferzovich for a hold. We'll put the Monarchs back to the power play where they have 2 power play goals already. 2 short-handed markers as well. Both of them for Critch as this one goes straight up top. The shot bounces off of the stick of Charbonneau and then the foot of Bergsma. Straight back from Muse. Shot clock continues to tick down though as LeBlanc gets it here for Laidlaw. Laidlaw, Caravello threading the needle, looking for Muse. Handles it off the deflection off the stick. 4 on the shot clock. Caravello behind his back. What a save. The shot doesn't quite beat the shot clock. It was wide anyways. But what a play from Caravello to at least make an attempt. That took, well, all 30 seconds because it was a shot clock violation. So the Outlaws will drag this one out now to try and knock the penalty down halfway. John St. John, we have him for sitting on 2 goals so far in this game. Again, our number's not official. As Gilray goes around the corner. Gilray looking for Sloan. He ate a big chop from Spencer James, who looks like a lumberjack. Big, muscular body, that beard out from underneath. Some pretty good beard games in this league, in this game too. Even teammate Cody McLeod's got a good one coming in. Down in the corner with 40 seconds left on their power play. Critch near side. They were looking for the far corner. Was Grasby. It ends up being intercepted as Gage Board will hold on. And they can't quite take the whole thing down here, but get within about 2 seconds. So effectively killing off the entire power play if they so choose. Critch will spy the ball carrier now. As Gage Board, the assistant captain, just keeps it outside. Triolo cutting to the net. Doesn't quite get there. Lifted in on Wendy. And that'll do it for the power play. Not a whole lot to show for there from the Monarchs. As now Caravello comes up over the restraining line. 15 on the shot clock. Caravello, far side, Muse. Bergsma gets picked out of the way. Now DeBrone goes to work on Muse. As the ball picked up by Critch. Caravello near side. McQueen open space for him. And the return pass intercepted as it was just behind the intended target as Andrioli comes in on a 2-on-1. Even numbers now as the Monarchs get back. And coming in on the boards. We saw a big hit in the corner earlier, and nice job there by the man on the back to stop up. And Ryan Nolan did make contact with the boards, but a dangerous play that could have been nicely done by the Monarchs. Shot clock resets. The count is down in the corner here, and now it will be 30 as Wendy puts the glove on it. As working out of the corner all by himself, John St. John, this sees part. And that player I was lauding earlier for holding up the check was Patrick Miles. Now that we see the 9, we can correctly identify him. Eric Krepensek will feed Miles here. A bit of a stumble. Nice golden gloves that match the Monarchs jersey. Somewhat reminiscent of the Winnipeg Falcons Team Canada jerseys of yore. An acquired taste by some. As another shot there just wide, and Grasby a couple good assists. But another one that gets just behind his man and forces a quick release shot. So a rough start for the Monarchs, but so far the Outlaws unable to answer back. 5 minutes in here to quarter number 3. Far side, the shot there low on Wendy, and he had to do the tap dance a little bit as Gilray's shot got in his feet. Coming up over center, big whack from Mancini. Mason Wright drops the ball right in front of McQueen though, so he'll pick up and Wright will get a change. Far side, Tyler LeBlanc. Muse with the pick, LeBlanc with the ball. Stops just outside of the fan, 5 on the clock. Shot wide from Muse. And around a leaping Nick Grasby. Head down here from Connor Laird, trying to beat the Chargers coming off the bench. Onto the crease, the shot and the goal. Leaping was Steph Charbonneau. He's having himself a quiet little game here. Played some defense up in Barrie, as we said in Coquitlam as well in that Minto Cup this year. A couple other Arena Lacrosse League players from last year. Liam Patton, who just got called up to the Buffalo Bandits this week, was one of the big stars, again out of Barrie, for the Okotoks Raiders in that Minto Cup. Oshawa picking this loose ball up, looking to feed it on net. Triolo's going to try the dunk shot in no time. Wendy knew it was coming too. And you could see the wheels turning for Triolo as Wendy tried to block the corner. Triolo's so tall, he almost stuffed it into the short side for Wendy. Here's Critch dancing around off the shoulder there of Schutzkowski. May have hit the mask as he's nodding the head a little bit. Grisby and Critch can't come up with this ball. Races on for it now as Andrioli gets there first. And he'll get possession here for Oshawa. Now he's sprinting off to the bench as Mancini keeps the play alive. Pace starting to quicken up as it comes for Sloan. He fires one off the backboards. Comes out straight for Spencer James. Speed is not this man's game as he rumbles it up over center. Realizes that now and will quickly head off for Tyler LeBlanc. No offense to Spencer, but I think he'd probably agree. Cutting in, McQueen with a man all over him. The bounce shot, cross thread. It's recent. And Tyler LeBlanc had a hand in that for his 4th point. And I believe Spencer James may pick up the 2nd assist. Five runners without a point. Nagoli with 2 for the Monarchs tonight. They lead 12-7 at the official. Outlaws still trail by 5. That first quarter run the Monarchs put together still is yet to be countered, but as I say that, Brandon Benn with his 2nd of the game. Quickly via the far side. And you can make it 12-8 now, just outside of 7 minutes left in the third quarter as we play at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center here in Oakville, Ontario, the home of the Toronto Monarchs. Usually every Saturday night, if you're in the area or feel like hopping the GO train or the QEW. Some great lacrosse here in a pretty good environment as well. Children's Arena in Oshawa, home of the Outlaws, Whitby Steelhawks, Peterborough Timbermen, cutting to the net. The bouncer, they're looking for Sloan, goes in for Wendy, and not quite the quick out that we had seen before, but then misplayed. Jordan Critch in with it, and whistles in behind the play. Caravello as well. Now the door opens again as Ryan Wilson went over and signaled unsportsmanlike. So Niall Caravello goes off for a cross check, and Jordan Critch joins him for an unsportsmanlike penalty. So the Oshawa Outlaws, a golden opportunity now to get back in this one. Trail by 4, just got the goal as Triolo back for Ben. This one bounces off the back, and Charbonneau is playing safety valve. So that one doesn't get over center. Another hard shot from Ben. What a pickup on the rebound there from Triolo as Ben gets it back. Now St. John. St. John shoots it off the left shoulder of Wendy, and an awkward bounce there. Ball intended or nearly got towards Caravello, but I'm not sure if it was English or hit a dead spot. As St. John around his back, Wendy goes to his right, throws the wing out and denies Colin Maudsley. And Oshawa will get a reset here. Minute 10 left in there, 2-man advantage. Triolo from the corner. St. John on the crease again. Maudsley the shot, and this time it's a stick save from Wendy. Gets up and looks down floor, but they're 2 men short, so there's no one to go. And these three triangle men are just going to take a chance to suck some wind here. And down in the crouch looks like Cody McLeod, the low crease man. Maudsley, another couple cuts, and oh boy, real snake bit here on this power play is Maudsley. Wendy's got his number. They're going to try St. John this time, and he gets his too. And how about Triolo? Oh my! Craig Wendy throws the stick up in desperation. What a save. He's feeling it tonight. Caravello read board. They can take this penalty kill all the way down. 5-on-3, and they might do it. Triple team over on the far side for Reed Board, but maybe one last opportunity. Readjusting the gear and the stick and everything. And Wendy again, the inside of the foot from the wrong side. The shot from Ryan McCrory, and Wendy's got the crowd into it here. And the bench as well. Sticks are out for the Monarchs. As Craig Wendy, the biggest penalty killer on that three-man set. 3 straight saves, including a miraculous stick save on Triolo. And then off the foot as Maudsley was trying to take the shot. This one will be tipped, no over and back. It doesn't get far enough anyways. And the shot clock runs out on Critch. As we get 4 minutes left in the third quarter, still just 4-goal lead. Nothing to show for a 5-on-3 for the Oshawa Outlaws. Thanks to a pretty good stand by the 3 penalty killers, but Cody McLeod and Caravello played the most of that, and into the splits again by Craig Wendy. Boy, oh boy, when you're hot, you're hot. Mason Wright, Caravello. The energy in the building still trying to dissipate from that save. As Grasby to the far side. Couple hops backward there from LeBlanc. LeBlanc got a chop in the leg, it looked like. No call as it bounces straight to Grasby. Reset, Caravello over the top. And Dustin Caravello, Johnny on the spot, will get the goal. Get a chance to come back in. Helmet taps there for Craig Wendy. As the line that went off did it, and the new line that came on did the same. Mason Wright to the faceoff dot. Big time tie up here as he goes ring around the rosy here with Jelly. Gets pulled out. Bergsman in front of his own bench will pick up. Tyler Ferreira back there for the Monarchs. Graham Bergsman to the near side for Gage Board. Board with one in his face goes for Maudsley. Back for Triolo. Maudsley again dancing around. Pick comes. That one changed direction in midair, but Wendy on his way down, able to adjust and get the left shoulder on it. No doubt who the player of the game is so far. I know guys upstairs aren't supposed to say good things about boys with the throat guards, but this third period anyways. Here's Ben. Up to John St. John. St. John dancing around. Pick from Sloan. Far side. Trying to work around, looking for the cut. And a big collision over on the far side. Now a man goes down in the middle as it's turned over. And now Caravello still with a guy on top of him. Caravello goes down awkwardly, and he's still down just at the top of the fan in the Monarch zone. He was tied up with Gage Board, and we can hear him groaning from here. Take a timeout. Was over there with him. Looks like she's just going to leave him. So the way he got up and limped off, it kind of looked like a cramp, which I guess is good news when you see a player go down, especially on turf, and you hear him the way that we heard Caravello. It's maybe good news that she's walked away from him. All the way across. Grasby looked like he was surprised to have caught that pass. It was pretty hard going east-west in front of the crease, but picked up and quickly down the floor. Ryan McCrory cuts back. Couple players on him. Wendy does the jump shot And Triolo picks a corner. My goodness. And maybe that's the one that helps Oshawa here. We'll see if they can put a run together in the last minute, 8 seconds of the third quarter. They trail by 4 now, 13-9. So as much as the Monarchs have been able to weather the storm, so have the Oshawa Outlaws, as the Monarchs really squandered some of their offensive opportunities. Triolo back up top. He finds Josh Gilray now. Ball down in the corner. As Connor Laird spins away. John St. John in the middle. Shot on the doorstep. And Zach Sloan finds the back of the net. And indeed, with 40 seconds left, momentum starting to shift back the other way. 13-10 now. 40 seconds left in the third quarter before we swap sides for one final time. And that's where the Monarchs took off in that second quarter. So, you know, Oshawa's going to want at least one more if they can get it. Swiped out here by Wright. Wendy coming to help out as bowled over there. Connor Laird, some action in front of Wendy. And LeBlanc quickly off. It looks like Oshawa is going to get the ball here. And they are with about 20 seconds left. Up for Triolo. Szuskowski on the bench as Maudsley tries to work away from a double team. Finally getting it up top. 10 on the shot clock. Triolo filled in, and that one sailing towards the crease. This one down the floor, it's going to be well wide. And Monarchs have led almost the entire way, but it's now cut to 3, 13-10 as we head to last call. Well, here we go, folks. Final 15 in what's been a thrilling Arena Lacrosse League game so far tonight. And Jelly will win this back for Oshawa as they're down by 3. Had momentum at the end of that third quarter, but we'll see with the team switching sides here. Bergsma in all alone, and Wendy, well, he's had his own momentum streak all night long. And in the net to our left now as the ball's brought up over center here by Cody McLeod. McLeod limping a little bit as he makes his way off. Looks like Niall Caravello is taking his spot back in line as Muse, oh, what did that hit? Somehow that stayed out, looked like the glove and then the head of the stick for Szuskowski as it goes right back to Dustin Caravello, and Dustin now coming up a bit limp as he hits his hat trick. Goaltender's putting on a show down in the net to our right. It's Dustin Caravello limping around off to our right-hand side of the home bench. Mark DeBrone, meanwhile, trying to make his way into the net. He's going to circle the crease here. Goes for the slam dunk, and they're trying to say Wendy was in the net when he made that save. John Vandergryson was right there and made absolutely no signal. As the Monarchs are down the floor, Tyler Ferreira. In the corner, Ferreira jumping over the top. Pardon me, that was Luke Laidlaw as Szuskowski ends up with the ball. Played here for Ryan Nolan, who comes up over center. Nolan has Sean Gillies in his face. Gillies will back into coverage. Part of the Burlington Chiefs coaching staff. Big hit there, Spencer Janes coming across, and we'll see Spencer Janes right in the face of John St. John, and a big lick from Janes, and I believe that's Sloan going off. Meanwhile, twist at the end there for Brendan Muse, and Szuskowski stones him. Down the floor, 2-on-1, jumping and went. Did he do it again? He did not do it again. John Vandergryson, no signal. He says no goal. Paul Stewart thinks otherwise. It was off Wendy's stick, and he was falling backwards. Second one that The Oshawa bench thinks he was in the net when he made that save. Here in the opening 2.5 minutes of the fourth quarter. LeBlanc all the way up top. Halfway through their shot clock, he's cutting back to the middle, and it'll be intercepted, though, by the Outlaws. Triolo had a chance to get it for the fast break, but couldn't quite corral it cleanly as Gage Board takes it off the bench now. John St. John, he gets filled in. Trainer still paying attention to Zach Sloan. As Triolo works to use his big body to get into the crease. He's still sitting there as the shot comes. 2 on the shot clock, and now Triolo will get up. And head off. Sloan looks to be in, yeah, he is not all right over on that bench. That may have been a moving pick from Bennett. Andrew Bennett gets the shot, doesn't hit anything, so no harm, no foul as it goes up and into the safety netting. Near side, Jake Strocher will cross the timeline. He'll head off in favor of Cam Mancini. Gilray, now Ben, over to the left side. Trying to return it to the righties, and it's intercepted by Critch. Critch facing a wall of blue, and he'll snipe it himself. Give him 4 on the evening, as it's now 15-10 in favor of the Monarchs. Both goals coming the way of the home side. Jelly and Wright, mano-a-mano, tete-a-tete again for that face-off, and it'll be the Monarchs winning it and bringing it out. Ferrero will put the brakes on. On a bounce, back for Reed Board. Into the corner, Caravello up top, LeBlanc. This is Dustin Caravello back on after his apparent leg injury. Shot around, Schutzkowski, a nice recovery to make a right arm save. His board gets taken hard into the wall. He stands up and lays the body into Ryan McCrory as they continue to work for this loose ball, and everybody takes board down. Official right there. I'm not sure why there was no call there as the Monarchs come away with possession. 10 on the shot clock. They want the reset. It's not going to come. So LeBlanc elects to take the shot, and then a slash there on Schutzkowski as he had possession in his crease. Schutzkowski on his horse now. He's going to go to the bench as the Monarchs looking to get back to the penalty box. Wendy hangs on and looking down floor. We'll get checking in the crease. Not sure who he's talking to, but there's somebody on the bench loud enough that they could hear him. As this ball skips into the corner, Gilray. Seen a lot of Sloan on that left side. Still haven't seen him come back. I don't know if we will. After that hit from Spencer Janes, John St. John, first one into the corner, takes it out, beats a couple defenders. Over the top, oh, and foot comes down in the crease from Josh Gilray, but he had Wendy beat. Down the floor, off the bench, and 2-goal swing there for the Monarchs. As Wendy, the goalie hat trick, 3 assists now as Nick Grasby comes in shorthanded. Couple plays down to the net to our left as Gilray had one taken away, and then quickly Nick Grasby, 6 points unofficially here tonight as he's got a power play and a shorthanded goal. As John St. John into the corner for Gilray. Up top, Ben, now Triolo. Triolo put some English on that shot as he tried to go through the legs of Wendy. Ben for St. John. Circling the net is Gilray. Picked up here, Maudsley's shot goes wide. This is Gilray on the right side. My apologies for earlier in the possession. As Wendy picks it up and goes down the floor. He'll just play catch with Szuskowski here as it was just too far for Caravello. John St. John didn't have time to get to the bench, so stays on to play this at the top of the fan. Bergsma Miscommunication over the line between Bergsma and Ben. Neither sure who was going to get it. And that'll allow the Monarchs to kill off the LeBlanc penalty. With 10 seconds left in it and 15 on their shot clock. Looks like Tyler Ferreira is going to keep it high. Triolo from the zone. Muse coming in. Oshawa player had lost his bucket. Andrioli has another shot there. Was that the post or the stick of Szuskowski? Oh my goodness. Who says you can't play goal with a small winner stick? Boy, oh boy. 7.5 left to go. We await the final officials' timeout of the game as Laidlaw gets taken into the boards. Pardon me, this is Ferreira. The 15, not the 16. Laidlaw taking to the floor in front of him as Sean Gillies stays in to provide a pick. Laidlaw with 5 on the shot clock. Over here for Grasby. His shot bounces off a body, and that'll roll into the corner. We'll get a shot clock violation as Grasby hard into the Oshawa player as we hit the officials' timeout. And we're going to get at least one, if not more, penalties, which we'll sort out on the other side of the break. 7 minutes left for Oshawa to close within 6. Offsetting penalties there. I believe it was roughing against Grasby and didn't catch the Oshawa number, but dead ball contact there. So 7 minutes left and work to do for the Oshawa Outlaws as Ben sends it to the far side. Mosley cutting in. He's gone through the crease. He can't play this. Tipped away by the Monarchs, though, as Ben will get it back off the reset. Gilray. Tie up in front. And unable to gain their feet was either player as Ben sent it off the backboards. James puts another player down and another great save there by Wendy. And even the commissioner clapping now. This is fantastic display of goaltending here tonight inside the track. Ben, Maudsley gets filled in. Sticks up between Maudsley and I believe that's McLeod. McLeod comes up limp. Meanwhile, Critch is down the floor and passes in behind Reed Board. And they're going to call through the crease, it looked like, as Board through the blue turf to go collect that one. Played here by Steven Berger. Is that Sloan? Zach Sloan. Appears to be back out there after getting trucked by Spencer Janes. Talked about how fierce he was all night long, and Sloan is back out there. Diving attempt, contact with Wendy. It looks like he's going to be okay. As Gilray went through, official right in there. On the near side, McLeod. Caravello up top. LeBlanc around the corner. 5.5 left in regulation. Far side for Caravello. Passes into the feet and off the foot, it looked like, of Muse. Mark DeBrone gets there first. Took a big whack from Kian McQueen, though. And DeBrone, bit of a limp as he circles the net. Will pass up the length of the field, though, as Graham Bergsma takes it. Into the corner for John St. John with 5 minutes left in regulation. Keep an eye on Szuskowski for you now as the Outlaws trail by 6. Pass behind John St. John. He overran it. Picked up by Caravello in front of the door. And now he'll turn away from Gage Board as the bench coming to his aid. Niall Caravello, first time we called his name since he went down early on in the third quarter. But looks like he's all right. As we said, it looked just to be a cramp issue. Don't see any extra tape or tensors, so LeBlanc may have taken a high stick. No arms go up as they do get the reset. Shot clock was at 4. And it's picked up here by Nick Andrioli. Him and the Outlaws streaking down the floor. Back to Triolo. The dip and the dunk as he went low, back to high. Looks like 6, 7 runners now for Oshawa have yet to score. And we counted 5 earlier. Pardon me. 7 runners yet to register a point, rather. And only 5 for the Monarchs earlier on. Wright gets sat on here by Paul Jelly, and it is going to be the Oshawa Outlaws controlling the faceoff. Shot comes in, Wendy with the save, and a slashing penalty after the fact with 4 minutes left. Ryan DeYoung getting his 2 cents as well. Outlaws trail by 5. They're on the power play here. As St. John puts it into the corner. Back up top for Ben. And St. John rips one, and this time barred down as John St. John completes his hat trick on the power play. Both sides urging their face-off men to get the ball. 3:38 left in the fourth. 4-goal lead now for the Monarchs as the Outlaws have had to play catch-up all night. And this one's another battle. Wright thought he had it, but then overran it, as did, pardon me, Paul Jelly. Bergsma faking out a couple players, and the low pass picked up by Charbonneau. Charbonneau will give off to Josh Gilray. Gilray, Maudsley, St. John, back for Bergsma, and Charbonneau and Tyler Ferreira, pardon me, Cam Mancini and Tyler Ferreira. Ferreira lost his stick. He's got to go collect it in the corner. As Ferreira and Paul Stewart having words as the Monarch player heads to the bench. 3 minutes left. We remain 5-on-5 as those two offset. As Gilray works out of the corner to the far side. Played here by Maudsley. Maudsley nearly cut to the net. Eric Krepensek able to cut him off, though, as Ben, change-up shot, saved by Wendy into the corner. St. John with it. And again, Krepensek cuts the line off. A great defensive set there for Eric Krepensek as the stick gets high here. In on Jordan Critch. They thought they had one on LeBlanc, and they were in the ear hole of any official that would listen. The Monarch bench were, and they talking may have bought them one here as Roger Nurse has the arm high and Wendy's on the bench. Muse coming in, the low shot, loses his stick in the process, although Schutzkowski will make the save and Roger Nurse will call it a hold, but not severe enough for a major, so holding penalty, and the Monarchs, you may say, with a chance to ice it here. Up by 5 with closing in on 2 minutes left to go on the power play. Grasby out of the corner. They work almost the entire horn. Just LeBlanc on the near side, yet to touch it. He does now as he gets it from Critch. Back to Critch. Caravello with room. Closes quickly, though. Caravello over his shoulder. McQueen, Schutzkowski the save. And ring around the rosy here around the crease as LeBlanc trying to play catch up. Bergsma up over center. Gillies quickly out to play defense. And another one that changes direction on Wendy, but in the splits gets that left leg on it. And up out of play, so Oshawa with a chance here. Short-handed though. Triolo to the corner. Gilray, St. John, picked from Sloan. John St. John cutting back in front of Caravello. That bounces off of Gillies as he was tied up with Gilray. And out for Caravello. He had a breakaway, but he'll turn back as they're still man down for 55 seconds as we near the final minute of play. And the Toronto Monarchs will move into a tie for first place with the Oshawa Outlaws here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center tonight. ArenaLacrosseLeague.ca. Standings, scats, schedule, and scores. If you're in the area of Oakville on a Saturday night, this is the place to be for Arena Lacrosse League action as we get the shot clock violation. Oshawa coming in, they'll turn. Look at a shovel back. Doesn't quite get there for Charbonneau. Steph Charbonneau finds his captain, Mike Triolo. Bit of an arm shrug there. 10 seconds, still shorthanded. That shot into the midsection and down hard and heavy. Can't see a number here or where that hit. Whoever it was, the Monarch player, went straight down. 27 seconds left. We'll step aside here. It was Mason Wright that went down, got up on his own strength, and was able to walk away. He sits on the bench, told the trainer he was okay. We saw the head nod. And fresh 30 here, shot clock turned off, as the Toronto Monarchs will run this one out. Great run last year, got stuffed in the playoffs, but it looks like Toronto Monarchs have put together another great season so far. A great win here tonight. 16 goals on home floor, but backstopped by a great performance despite the 12 goals against by Craig Wendy, who will be our number one star of the game. 16-12 is your final. I'm Matthew Carrick for the Arena Lacrosse League. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time.